So I just reviewed your diet history that you gave me, and if you could guess how many calories that you might have consumed in that day, what would be your estimate?
On the average day, I'm going to guess I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,800.
Well, actually, it's lower than that. It's about 23 is what you're consuming right now, which is great. It's actually relatively good for your age and what you should be consuming. So after looking it over, I saw a few good things that I wanted to point out to you that I think you should continue to keep up, such as your whole grain total cereal in the morning with the skim milk, as well as the banana that you're having and the whole wheat bread that you're using at lunch as well. I think those are great choices, definitely to start and to continue. There were a few areas of concern. Looking at the cream that you have in your coffee every morning, as well as the ginger ale. You had mentioned that you usually have more than one during a typical day, and also the cheese in the evening.
Yeah, like I said,
and the dressing as well.
Yeah, I kind of figured those would be areas. I kind of feel that, like I said, I put cheese on virtually everything, and I'm sure if I cut that back a bit, along with maybe one less pasta a week, that would help. So, sorry to interrupt, go ahead.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
So if there could be some areas, not necessarily the ones that I mentioned, but areas in general that you feel like you could improve on, what would you like to work on?
Yeah, I would definitely say the coffee is one of them. It's kind of a New Year's resolution I've been trying to do for the last couple of years, and I have a hard time breaking it. But I think, I think it's a great area to start. I think if I go from cream to maybe skim milk instead of just going to black coffee, would be a good transition. I think in the past I've tried to go just black, and it's very difficult. I think one less soda, if I average 2 a day, maybe cutting back to 1. Water or something at night, or juice or something like that, something with far less sugar than what I'm taking at dinner. And I would probably try to cut back at dinner instead of lunch, because I feel like I burn off more calories after lunch with what I do for work. At dinner, I tend to then just sit around and watch TV at night or that type of thing, and so I feel that sugar just sits in the system all night long. But anyway, that's not my area of expertise, which is why I'm talking to you. But I feel like those areas would be, those cutbacks in those areas would be beneficial. And I'm guessing you feel the same way.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Definitely. I actually pulled out something from Dunkin' Donuts. I tend to have a few of the fast food nutritional information on hand, and I wanted to point out the cream and sugar coffee that you normally take in the morning. A medium cream and sugar regular coffee from Dunkin' Donuts has 168 calories in it. 8 grams of fat and 6 grams of saturated fat. If you were to modify that coffee and replace the cream with skim milk, you would not only reduce the calories by 70 calories, but you would also take away the 8 grams of fat because there's no fat in the skim milk.
So that's just by cutting from the cream out, but still maintaining the sugar.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And you could choose to reduce the sugar as well if that was an option. If you're interested in doing like a sugar substitute like Splenda, that would actually cut your calories down to I think 30 calories for the coffee, and because the Splenda has no calories in it, it's a no-calorie sweetener. So that is an option for you as well if you're interested in trying something like that. As far as the ginger ale, I think it's a great way if you to cut back instead of having to remove the thing entirely at once. Certainly trying to maybe incorporate more water to get more fluids into your diet, I think would be helpful. And then, I think, truthfully, putting it on you and deciding what goals are best suitable for you, because ultimately you're the one who needs to make the change. And you want to do something that's easily attainable for you.
Right, and easy to stick with too.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want to be one of those people that can do it and I lose the 4 or 5, 6 pounds that I want to lose. but then 3 months down the road it goes right back because I can't stick
Yeah,
with
exactly.
black coffee, but yet I could have stuck with skim milk
Yeah.
black coffee.
Sure.
So,
So, you know, to
yeah.
start slowly and try to build
Right.
on these goals, I think is, you know, is important. You know, I think it's easy to look at it and say, you know, to try to restrict this or modify this, but it's not as easy when you go to do it.
No,
So, to,
right.
you know,
course.
to make small little changes is certainly helpful. If you are looking to lose weight, from what I've heard from other clients, that approaching it by, you know, losing a pound or two a week, they say is what works ultimately best for them.
Okay.
And it's also a slower way to
Yeah,
approach it.
more gradual.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
Yeah.
So where you are now at 2,300 calories, they say if you cut back 500 calories a day, that would be a total of 3,500 calories in 1 week, which is actually equal to a pound. So you could actually lose a pound a
Okay.
week just by cutting back
Yeah.
those 500 calories. So certainly, cutting back doesn't always mean taking everything away. It could mean modifying like we're doing in a different way. So still being able to enjoy those foods, but also, you know, adding different things. Like I noticed that, you know, you don't have a lot of vegetables in your diet, and you do have fruit, which is great.
Right.
Maybe you can increase the fruit intake, you know, if it's something that you enjoy per se more than vegetables.
Yeah, I do. I also think that, you know, there's certain times of the year where I do enjoy, you know, vegetables more. You know, summer vegetables I enjoy more than, you know, what might be necessary in the winter. Same with fruits. So I tend to eat far more fruits in the summer than what I do in the winter. I'm sure if I balanced it out a little bit more and, you know, had one additional either fruit or vegetable would be beneficial.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely, and thinking about it in terms of, you know, also getting the nutrients that you need too, because, you know, having a variety is very important, and, you know, there's certainly going to be ones that you don't like, but, you know,
Right.
the ones that you do, you know, focus on those ones, and, you know, see where you might be able to fit it into your diet. You know, if you were to look at your current typical day, you know, where do you think you might be able to fit in maybe an extra vegetable or an extra fruit?
Oh, I definitely, for instance, when we talked about Friday, when I had the pumpkin bread, if I cut that out and went with even just another banana or a different fruit or something along those lines would be beneficial. And to be honest, I'd probably be driving home feeling healthier than I just put a sweet type of food in my system on the way home.
Sure.
That along with water would be, you know, a great way to keep me somewhat nourished for the ride home, but yet not, you know, having the sugar intake.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm hearing that you want to, you know, try to make these changes. On a scale of like 1 to 10, how ready do you feel like you could go out here today and start
based
to
on-
implement some of these?
Yeah, I mean, based on the changes that you're basically telling me I can make, and they're not gigantic changes, they're more adjustments, if you will. I would say it's 8. I think it's very attainable.
That's
But
great.
more importantly, on top of being attainable, it's easy to hold on to that, maintain that. Because you're not saying you need to get rid of this, or you need to get rid of that, because I'm not looking to lose 10, 20 pounds. I'm looking
Sure.
to tighten up a bit.
Sure. So, so if you could name the three goals that you want to go out of here today with, what would they be?
Well, I think one would be, more than just the weight, would be get rid of the cream, get rid of the sugar, the additional soda, and then add an additional fruit or vegetable.
I think those are great goals. I really do. I think, you know, it's a great way to start. It's, you know, something small, something to work on.
Yeah.
I think I would like to see you, you know, I would like to see you work on these, and hopefully we can meet back in a month and see how you're doing.
Sounds great.
And certainly if there's other changes that you feel like you might want to make in any parts of your diet, you can certainly do those. I'd love to hear about
Yeah, we'll
anything.
get back in touch.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good.
I'm going to give you my card
Yep.
so you can make another
Thank
appointment
you,
with
Dr.
me.
O'Brien. Appreciate it.
And we'll meet back, like I said, in a month or so. Is there any more questions you have before?
I'm good. No, I appreciate the time, and it's been a learning experience.
Great. Well, that's good to hear. I'd like to leave you with a few pieces of information just so you can have perhaps some guidelines if you need
Sure.
anything. This is actually, it's a sheet that you can write down like your different starches and your meals, so that way you can kind of keep track how many servings of fruits and vegetables you're getting, and so you can bring more awareness
I can
to
take
those.
this with me?
Yes, you
Okay.
certainly can.
Thank you.
I also printed out a few little things about some weight loss tips and different ways to help you maintain your weight once
that.
once you've
Thank you.
lost some weight.
Excellent. I'll take these with me, and then we'll sit back down in a month or so.
Yes, in a month or so. I think that we can discuss where you're at and where we can go from there.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate
Thank
that. Thanks.